3.
Hello everyone, this is Amanda Bryson. By now you're familiar with my face and my name because this is your lesson cast for Foundations Part 2. Now Foundations of ESOL is really one big long module with 16 weeks. But in Blackboard we designate Foundations 1 and Foundations 2, so assignments number 9 through 16 are what comprises Foundations Part 2. But it really builds throughout the whole thing. Foundations 1 is, as you know, focused on a lot of that cross-cultural and multicultural awareness that you need, and just the experience of ESOL students and teachers. And then as we move into Foundations 2, we get a little bit more technical. You're going to cover in the first 4 weeks of this module, you're going to cover second language acquisition research. You're going to learn about the giants of our field that you probably have already been exposed to a little bit in literacy and linguistics. But these are the men and women whose names you really ought to be able to recognize and associate theories with. You're going to be very glad for those 4 assignments when you hit your content interview at the district level, because they might ask you something like, tell me about a second language acquisition theorist. And you're going to need to be able to pull that question up. That was a question I got in my content interview with Fairfax County Public Schools. And I need to be able to rattle off Krashen and Cummins and all of that. This is your professional knowledge. This is that center of the Venn diagram we talk about so often. This is your professional knowledge about the field of teaching English to speakers of other languages. Then the second 4 weeks, you're really going to be talking and learning about assessment. Now this is a huge portion of what teaching ESOL is about, and it's really one of the key differences between a gen ed instructor, a gen ed teacher, and an ESOL teacher, is that our lives really revolve to some degree around those assessments. We have far more of them, and they assess different things, and you're going to learn about what those are. What are the federal, state, and local requirements, and what is WIDA, and all of those things, and we have people coming in to talk to you about that, and you have lots of reading to do about it. Our students, last semester, we sort of amped up our assessment assignments, and our students said every single bit of information that they got was so valuable once they hit the classroom. So I hope that you will be inspired to slog through, knowing that all of that information is going to be very practical for you once you're in your day-to-day world. The way to be successful in this module is to bring in everything you've already learned. So your papers really should reflect the fact that you've got 8 weeks of detailed, specific, and targeted knowledge. So we should be seeing your papers getting more robust. You should be cross-referencing with your other texts that you're reading. We should be able to tell that you are really becoming ESOL teachers. Your final assignment is to write a rubric in student-friendly language. And what that means is that you're going to take perhaps the WIDA writing rubric or some other, maybe the ESOL writing rubric, some standard assessment that your students will face, and take it and write it in language. Simplify the language, change the format so that it's student friendly. We want your students, and you're going to pick a target population, a target language proficiency level and grade level and all of that, and craft this rubric so that you can actually use it with your students. And this is a fantastic tool for your students to empower them to know how they're going to be assessed, and to take all of that jargon in the rubric that's used by proficient, fluent adults and modify it, scaffold it, so that your students can actually access the information about how they're going to be assessed. This will be something you will actually use in your classroom, trust me, and you will be glad that you have that tool, and you'll be glad that you know how to do that, because your students will just be able to look right there on the rubric and see how they need to improve. It's a way to work smarter, not harder, and to help involve your students so they feel like they have a stake, that they have a say, they have more information. we always want to put as much control into the students' hands for their own learning as we possibly can. So that's the purpose of this assignment, and everything that you learn up to that point about scaffolding and assessment will go into that project. So best wishes in this module. We look forward to seeing you on Saturdays, and let us know if you have any questions at all. We're here for you. That is our job, is to answer questions. So take care and good luck.